Well, somebody asked me the other day how you get a screen on a casement window where you don't have to take the screen off to open the window. And these, we're talking about the existing ones you already have in your house. Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to see, you want to get a measurement to this area here. This is the area where your screen is going to fit inside the window so that you have access to the lock. So what we need is we need some window screen stop that will come down 3/4 of an inch, and then from here back to the window is it's about 1.25 inches. So you can make it 1.25 inches. You don't want to make it to where the screen is just directly on top of this. You want to at least give it a 1/16 of an inch, because all this is for is just to give it clearance. So that's all we need to do, is just we just want to bring it down to where the bottom of the screen stop is at the bottom of this. I mean, if it comes down more, that's not going to hurt anything. But at least come down to here so that when the screen does fit in there, like this is the screen material, it will fit like that. Because the screen is going to be on the inside of the house. Okay, and then as we're doing that, then we're going to come down the side. Same thing, we're going to come down, come back from the window 1.25 inches. But on the bottom is where we're going to have the biggest challenge. We have to have 1.25 inches. This one's 1.5 inches. I mean, 2 inches would probably be better, but 1.25 inches by 1.5 inches, because we have to cut something to go around all of our mechanisms down here. So what we're going to have is we're going to have something similar to this. We're going to have something here that's going to come in. That's going to clear all the mechanisms, and then we've got to have an area right here. This is why I say 2 inch. Right here, that's where our screen's going to fit up against there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these two pieces out, and then we'll move on to our screen stop area. Alright, what we've got to do now is we need to get our rip guide 1 inch from the outside of the blade, and then the blade needs to come up 1 inch. So probably what we'll do like 1 inch plus, and then over 1 inch plus. Okay, now we're 1 inch plus by 1 inch plus. Now I got to get my push stick. Okay, we've got our piece. This is the part that's going to be sticking out this way. This part here, all it's going to be doing is covering up all our mechanisms. So this will go in there like that. It's just that now we need to cut around our mechanism down there. Now I'm not going to be too critical, but you should be a lot more critical than I am, because I don't have my bandsaw here today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut this out best I can, and then we'll move on to the next step. fixing to cut out this area right there. That'll be step number 2. I'm just going to use my miter saw over there, cut these two areas there, and then we're going to use a table saw to go across the top. Like I've always said, you want to make enough of this for 2 or 3 pieces in case you mess one up. You don't have to redo everything. In this case, I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, see, I'm 1.5 inches back, and I'm 1.25 inches down. Okay, with the 1.5 inches back, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to come in here and cut back 1/4 inch for our screen to set up in there. Okay, so now you see how that's going to fit. Now, there's another way you can do this if you didn't want to have to cut in a rabbet on the top edge of this thing, is that you can just add a piece of 1.25 inches on top of it. Okay, now you can see I've got that piece there on the bottom. Okay, if you wanted to do it that way, then you're pretty much done, except for the trim piece you're going to put on the outside to make it look a little nicer when the screen meets up with the bottom part of the trim you put on there. But see, we got the trim all the way around it, or I should say our screen stop. Got it all the way around the window. And then we got our bottom piece cut in there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the little rabbet out of that bottom piece, just to show you what I was talking about. Okay, what I need to do is come back inch and a quarter, because that's the width of our other stops, and then we need to go down about 1/2 inch, give or take. Doesn't have to be 1/2 inch, it can be 3/8. Okay, so we just need to cut out that fillet right there, rabbet, whatever you want to call it.